I won't lie, like a little bit of me feels like he'll always have a bang of Arsenal off him. This video is being brought to you with thanks to our friends at Surfshark. Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to not only browse the internet entirely anonymously, but also very securely. Surfshark will secure your data with industry leading measures using uncrackable encryption and the most secure VPN protocols. One subscription with Surfshark will work across all of your devices. I use it for unlocking things like American Netflix. We also use it if we want to watch our Canadian DAZN account and a couple of other bits and pieces. The good news is you can get 83% off. That's right, I did say 83% off. And an additional 3 months free using the Anfield Agenda link in the description. They've also got a really credible and unique 30-day money back guarantee. If you don't like Surfshark, it doesn't meet your needs, which I'm going to be honest with you, it will and you won't. But if you do, if you want to change, Surfshark give you 30 days to change your mind. Why not give Surfshark a try? You'll be supporting us here at Anfield Agenda and you'll be treating yourself to the best VPN provider out there, bar none. Although we're being told that our business is done, it seems that the links for us to sign a forward are growing and growing and growing. Various forwards have been linked. And I just kind of want to get the consensus of how we feel. Do we think we're done? Do we think we're going to bring somebody in? I think we're done for midfield, personally. But the links to forwards just keep coming. So I want to talk about them because I think we need one. Pretty much got our money back on Darwin now, said Bobby. But I want to go straight to the one John posted because he took a little bit of time to post it and he deserves to have it read out. So John said, and thank you John LFC26 for saying, according to Brazilian pundit Wagner Veloso, promising Santos forward Marcus Leonardo, 19 years of age, has been sold to an English club, while presenter slash entertainer Milton Neves from TV band Leonardo is going to Liverpool, although it isn't known if the claims are serious. I've seen this link. I don't feel like there's much I can add to that because, again, I'm going to be honest and say, the fuck do I know about some 19-year-old guy playing for Santos? So, not me. So I've nothing to add to it, other than it kind of just plays into the narrative that I was trying to bring up tonight, that it looks like, bar what's being said, forwards are being linked constantly. Which kind of makes me wonder, because we're not seeing midfielders linked. Not really. There's been a couple of talks around Barella and a potential swap deal. But we know what the midfield situation is. We know. You don't want to admit that I'm right, but you know I'm right. Deep down, when you go to bed at night, there's a big part of you that wants me to be right, but there's also a little part of you that knows I probably am. So we'll push the midfield conversation for another day. I suppose let's go through the ones that are doing the rounds most. And the first one I want to bring up tonight, if that's okay with everyone, is one that hasn't gone away, although I still feel there's nothing to it. So Liverpool have been linked with Serge Gnabry. This comes from Sport, who are a Spanish publication, I believe, and they say that the Reds have Serge Gnabry in their sights after the exit of Sadio Mane, Divock Origi, and now, of course, Takumi Minamino, who today has all but been announced as a Monaco player. That's, I think, officially confirmed now. So Takumi will be a Monaco player. Wish him all the best. But it's been claimed Madrid are also interested in Gnabry, yada, yada, yada. My point here is, and I think you probably have a similar way of thinking, I hope, if we were interested in Gnabry, it kind of felt like something we could have, maybe should have done when Sadio was going in the opposite direction. So I don't know about the Gnabry links. I'm not entirely against the idea of Serge Gnabry at Liverpool. Wouldn't be my personal priority, but I'm trying to just say, if there was truth to it, you probably, although deals are very, very rarely actually connected, like immediately happening, one is in place of the other, or one is part exchange. Like, that doesn't happen too often. But yeah, I mean, Serge Gnabry, I think he's 25 years of age. No, I think he's 27 years of age, Gnabry, if my memory's right on this one, actually. I remember saying at the time that he was a couple of years younger than Sadio Mane, so I think he's about 27. I don't know how I feel about Serge Gnabry. I probably prefer him over Asensio, because he's more an out-and-out wide player on that right side. So we brought in Asensio. One of the things we've heard spoken about was his, ability to play across the front three in a few different positions. Gnabry, I feel like, would be more of an option for Mohamed Salah's replacement, an option for his challenger, whatever you want to call it. So I don't know if there's truth to it. I haven't been told. And look, I'm quite decent with German stuff, actually, with regards to having the ability to reach out to people. And I've not heard anything about Gnabry being genuinely linked to Liverpool. But then again, I've not heard anything about any forwards, because what we've been briefed, what I know other journalists have been briefed is, I say other journalists like I'm a fucking journalist, I'm not. But what they've been briefed is that we're done. Business is done. Now, of course, there's two reasons for that. One, business could be done because business is done. Or it could be, of course, you don't want to raise the potential price of any players you're looking at, or alert other clubs to their availability or who your targets are. So I guess it's who you believe in this scenario. Do you believe the club, or do you believe the journalists? Or are they both the same thing? And is everybody lying to us? I don't know. I genuinely am fucking confused right now about are we done or not. So on Gnabry, he's 26, 27 in July. Thank you, Bobby, and a couple of other people in the chat for that one. Hannah as well. So yeah, how do we feel? Gnabry, I won't lie, like a little bit of me feels like he'll always have a bang of Arsenal off him. And that's never a good thing when you're bringing in a player, because when you think of Arsenal, you think of underachieving kind of. And he's certainly gone and rebuilt his career since those days. Yeah, I think I'd be alright with Gnabry at this point. Having brought in Darwin Núñez, I feel like Gnabry be alright. I wouldn't have been happy if Gnabry was the Mane replacement alone, but after bringing in Darwin, yeah, I'd have a bit of Gnabry. I'd have no issues with that, especially at the rumoured 30 million pound mark. Finn said, I'd take Gnabry all day, good with both feet, decent finisher and a good work rate. Jen, I think it is, J.M. Wood said, gotta say, I'd be all over him. Hannah said, I think we're done with high profile signings. Again, that's kind of open to interpretation, Hannah, isn't it? What's high profile, what isn't? Like, would Gnabry be high profile? I would say he would be, to be fair. And while we're talking about high profile things, actually, just really quick, the fuck is Raphinha worth £60 million? I must be living in cloud cuckoo land here, because Raphinha's been linked with Chelsea now, and the figure's been mentioned about 55 to 60 million pound. And look, Raphinha is a very good football player. Is 60 million or 55 justifiable for Raphinha? If Liverpool paid it, I wouldn't be happy. I gotta be honest. I would not be happy if we went out there and dropped 55 million quid on Raphinha. But there's enough interest in him that clearly clubs are willing to pay it, because Chelsea are interested, Arsenal have been trying to get it over the line. Barca have, of course, been interested in Raphinha as well. But I have to say, I'm glad that we're not in for Raphinha at that price point. Which, you know, people might watch this and go, you are one hypocritical SOB because you just signed Darwin. Correct. And I am. But that's part of the fun of being a football fan. I'm aware I'm a hypocrite. The problem is, I just don't care. Danny said 35 million max. No one will say anything about it. Chelsea, though, if we paid 65 million for him, yeah, I get you. Exactly right. This is where other people's hypocrisies are supposed to come in, because when we buy somebody, we overpay or they're a fraud until they're not, in which case they'll still never admit it, because they're still not really admitting that Virgil van Dijk is the best defender on the planet when there isn't anybody that comes close to him. Mick said, I think Raphinha is better than he showed at Leeds. I've said loads of times I'd take him. Better than he showed at Leeds? Yes. Won't argue with you on that, Mick. I think he certainly is better than he showed at Leeds. Or at least than he showed consistently at Leeds. See, there are plus points and negative points around that type of transfer. For us, plus points would be we have a good relationship with Deco, who's his agent, who's part of George Mendes' agency, the Guest of You agency, which we have pretty decent relations with. Brought in Jota and Fabinho and maybe another one that I can't think of to that agency. So from that side, it would be a deal if Liverpool were interested. That there certainly would be no barriers with agents or anything like that to stop us looking into it. But I still don't feel he's worth 60 million quid, though. Like, if you've got Gnabry 30-35, Asensio 30-35, and then Raphinha at 60, I've got to say, I'm glad that that's not the direction we went down. That's I think that's the fairest way I could say it. Because I do agree, he's not a bad player. Like, I'm not on here to say Raphinha's crap. He isn't. Nothing like that. But I just don't see 60 million. Morgan Gary LFC said, if a team is willing to pay that, then yes, the player is worth it. Don't know about that, my friend. Like, Jack Grealish was only worth 100 million to two clubs. The selling club and the fucking idiots that paid 100 million for him. Because nobody else in the world would look at Jack Grealish and go, yeah, 100 million. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really agree with your point that a player's worth what anybody else would pay for him, because there are certain clubs that will pay stupid money for reasons that we all know those reasons to be. Can you imagine if Liverpool spent 100 million on Jack Grealish and he'd had that season that he just had at Manchester City? Do you think that people would be doing what most of us have done and go, all right, he hasn't come great yet at City, but he might? would they fuck? They would be telling us we are idiots, we are robbed, we are... Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I don't agree with you 100%. But that's okay, we don't always have to agree.